I think the greatest value of learning how to, I think everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer. Should learn a computer language because it teaches you how to think. It's like going to law school. I don't think anybody should be a lawyer, but I think going to law school would actually be useful because it teaches you how to think in a certain way. In the same way that computer programming teaches you in a slightly different way how to think. And so I view computer science as a liberal art. It should be something that everybody takes a year in their life. One of the courses they take is, learning how to program.
Programming is where you're describing to the machine how to do something. And so telling it how to play tic-tac-toe, telling it how to play the board game Monopoly, telling it how to convert numbers from one base to another. And the idea of, okay, there's these simple instructions, but if you put them together, then you can synthesize something quite complex. It's a fascinating kind of mathematical thing. How can you make it fast? How can you make it small? The fact of understanding how the computer works gives you a real sense of what it can do and what it can't do. There's a lot of great jobs out there, and so we don't have programming enough on the curriculum. But I certainly wouldn't put it at like math or literacy. But there's a lot of innovative stuff that make it more interesting. It's not just for nerds like it was when I did it.
Programming is one of the only things in the world that you can do where you can sit down and just make something completely new from scratch, whatever you want.
I took one computer class in college and I cheated at it, but when I started really getting into it, I could spend 20 hours teaching myself the program and writing programs, and I was like, I had no idea. I love this stuff, right? And I would just sit there and days would go by, and I loved it, right? And then as I got more into those businesses, it was like, this is great. I'm having a blast doing this. But I didn't know that's what I would love to do until I tried a lot of different things.
For a few, it might lead to a lucrative career as so-called coders. But for everybody, it'll teach them how to think, how to imagine, how to create. It'll provide a better understanding of the world and an indispensable foundation for life.
A lot of people think about programming as the language that tells the computer what to do. But in fact, if you look at the office behind us, programming, when it's really good, and the language itself, the programming language, is actually communication between team members, right? It's the difference between being able to maintain something and enable it to live and to sustain versus not. So if it's a great language and everyone knows it, then it brings the team together and they can really do amazing things very quickly.